Hi everyone. I know it's been a little while since we last got together and watched a video or made a video, and I've been traveling a little bit and had some other things going on, but today I want to share something with you that I think you can find really fun and easy. This took me about all of 10 minutes to finish. It's from an old painting book. It's Quick and Easy Painting from October 2004. And so that's not available anymore, but I think you can do this really very easily without this book. The design is by a good friend of mine named Sue Pruitt. She's an MDA. And at the time that she made this, she was using Ceramcoat acrylics. So I will give you a list of those color names in case you still have some of those. But what I did is I converted those Ceramcoat colors to Traditions colors, and I have a list of those right here, and I can also provide those for you as well. But this is a flower pot. It's kind of a large size, but it really didn't matter what size pot you use. So the first thing to do is that I painted this with Traditions multi-surface sealer, and I painted it inside and out so we could seal, so that when you put a plant in this, the watered, the dirt and the wet dirt won't seep through on your design. So then I painted this with lichen gray, all of the except for the top. And the conversion for lichen gray is 1 medium white, 1 medium beige, and 1 medium gray. So that's pretty easy. But like I said, I'll have these for you. So I just wanted to show you quickly how easily this is done. And look, and you know, it just really does look like brick. So I only used 2 brushes. I used an angle brush, 1/2 inch angle brush, and a liner, and then a very small piece of sponge. And it's 2 inches by 1 1/8 inch. So what I did is I made my mixes, and I saved them in my wet palette. And then I took a wax palette and a palette knife, and I took these colors and I spread them out on my palette paper in a row. That one there. And I might have to mix a little bit more of this darker red. So let me do that real quick. Okay, that's 1 English red oxide, which has now been discontinued, but you can still get it. And 1 burgundy. So I'll mix this up really quickly. It's 2 English red oxide and 1 burgundy. And then just stir them together. And so I'll put some of that out here. And right there. Okay. Then make sure your sponge is damp, but that all the excess water is squeezed out of it. So then I'm just going to lay it in each color. Make sure that you have color on the ends as well as the middle. And I've got ivory on it, so I'm just going to put it right here in the Georgia clay. Dump it right here in the red iron oxide. And right here in the terracotta. Okay. So you have all of this layered on your brush, or on your sponge. And I just kind of tamped it off a little bit because I have a little bit too much. And then I'm going to take this and just underneath the edge there, I'm going to press it down. and lift it straight up. And there's a brick. I'm going to come about 1/4 of an inch, or maybe you want them for 1/2 an inch away, and come and do the next one. I'm going to go all the way around. And I don't have to reload every time, only when I start to run out or it starts to get a little muddy. Just press it down and lift it straight back up. Keep coming all the way around. Notice I have not reloaded yet. And one more. Alright, so you know what the next one is going to be. We're going to come down about 1/2 an inch, and we're going to start straddling 2 bricks. And we're going to start another row. Now it looks like I need to reload. So I can do that. I think I need to have a little bit more ivory out here. So let me get some of that out. And I'm going to load it just the same way as I did before. I'm going to put it in the ivory first, and then the other 3 colors. Just layer them one on top of each other. And we're going to come back and do the next row. Now you notice I didn't press down real well right there. That's okay. There will be a time where we can come back and fix that. So you're just going to continue all the way down, making your rows. Now here I have a space that doesn't quite fit the whole sponge, so I'm just going to do partial and fit that in there. Okay? So I'm not going to, sit here and do all the rest of them. It's going to take a few more minutes, but I'm not sure how much time my camera is going to give me. So I want to show you my next step. And then it is to pick up some hammered iron, which is this dark color right here. And I'm going to float. For those of you who don't know how to float, I'm going to give you a real quick lesson. I do have a video on how to float. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip the brush in my water. And then I'm going to pick up my paper towel. And I'm going to set my brush on the paper towel just long enough for the shine to go away from my brush. That gives me the exact amount of water I need in my brush. Then I'm going to pick up a small amount of paint on the very tip of my brush, just on that one tip. Then I'm going to come to my palette paper, and I'm going to stroke back and forth to blend that paint into my brush. And if you will notice, the paint is only on one side of the brush. It gradually fades away to nothing on the other side. That's when you know your brush is ready. Then what I'm going to do is make sure that I start where it's dry. I'm going to set the paint-loaded tip of the brush right here under a brick, and I'm going to brush along the bottom of that brick. This is going to create my separation. This is what's going to make the brick look 3D instead of just paint on a flower pot. This is going to give the bricks dimension so that they lift up off the background. So I'm going to come around and I'm going to do that on each brick. You can do quite a few of them before you have to reload. See if we've got some lighting problems maybe. Going to do this with every row, every brick, and every row. All right. Then, now I do need to reload. I'm going to come and do that same thing on one side of the brick. Only one side, and the same side every single brick. See that? Every single brick. Let me reload again. Lost my towels. You're always going to lay the filled edge of the brush up against where you want to paint. And you will see that that sets that whole row of bricks out just really nicely. Going to do it to this row as well. And even where, in the areas where I don't have paint, I'm still going to paint a straight line just as if that brick was there. I'll show you why in a minute. Go around and get the rest of this on. I'm stopping at the space in between each brick. I am not continuing it on during the space because there's nothing there to create a shadow. And what we're doing is creating the shadow of the brick. Okay, so we've got them all the way around. We're going to come back and we're going to do our vertical on one side. As you see, this is painted very quickly. We're only putting that shadow on one side because the light is only coming from one direction. Light always only comes from one direction. You also will, once you have all of your rows done, you will also go up underneath the rim and paint straight across underneath the rim to create the shadow of the rim.